What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Dripp Strick College Football Podcast. This is episode 8, I believe.
Yeah.
We've had a great time doing this podcast, 8 episodes in. We really love it a lot. We got my co-host here with me, Austin Tucker.
How you doing, guys?
And today, we got a lot to talk about. We had a great, fantastic, amazing week of college football. And we're going to check in on the Heisman race, see who's in the lead, talk about some dark horses. And we're actually just going to hop right into that. So, right now in the Heisman race, I got CJ Stroud, first place right now. Second place in the Heisman race for me, Hendon Hooker. He's been playing the best football of his career so far, putting up some incredible numbers. Behind him, I got Bryce Young. He's been playing just how you expect Bryce Young to play. He's been playing some really good football. Behind him, I got Caleb Williams at fourth place. He's been playing pretty good. I'm not completely sold on him yet. He's playing in the Pac-12. For me, I'm just not, I think Pac-12 teams are overrated until they play Big 10 team, Big 12, SEC team, like a good SEC team. I'm not convinced on him, but he's been playing some good football, just how we all expected him to. Behind him, I got Blake Corum, the running back from Michigan. Undoubtedly the best running back in all of college football right now. He's been putting up some crazy rushing numbers, 735 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns.
He's been balling.
And then sixth place, Will Anderson. Been playing how Will Anderson did last year. Picked up from last year. He's been playing really good so far. And then seventh place, Stetson Bennett. He started off super hot, put up some really good numbers against Oregon. Kind of slowed down, but had a bounce back game against Auburn, unfortunately. And we'll talk about that game later. Eighth place, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the quarterback from UCLA. That's really underrated guy. He's been at UCLA for forever, and it seems like he's finally breaking out this year. And I'm really excited to see how he does the rest of the season. He's had some really, really good games so far in this season. But that's my list of the Heisman race right now.
Okay. That was good. That was really good. There's a lot of good guys this year, man. A whole lot of good guys, a lot of good teams. You know, because I hate how the Heisman's so team oriented.
Yeah.
Even though they say it's an individual trophy, it's really not at the end of the day. It's a lot about how good your team is. Number one, I got CJ Stroud. He's been playing out of his mind. He has so many passing touchdowns, passing yards. He's played, I wouldn't say great defenses so far, but he's played good defenses so far. At an impressive amount. And so he's definitely number one. He should be number one for everybody. I think he's definitely the front runner. Like I said, literally, I think almost pretty much everybody should have him. Just some honorable mentions, Hendon Hooker for sure. That dude has been balling. He's been breaking everybody's expectations. Tennessee looks like a great team this year. He has really helped turn that program around. And Caleb Williams, another guy, dude, he's been balling. He's very efficient when he passes the ball. And he's looked good against Pac-12 defenses, like you said. Over there at USC, he's not playing the best teams right now, but with the teams he has played against, he's looking great. DTR, dude, he's UCLA still undefeated. He played good against who they play? Utah.
Mm-hmm.
He played good against Utah. And DTR, he's an absolute baller. Blake Corum, he's probably top 3 in my Heisman voting right now. He's just every week, even if it's a good defense, he is running all over him. Blake Corum, man, he is every day, every game. You check his stats every game, they are unbelievable. And like you said, he's definitely the best running back this year, 100%. I'd probably put Deuce Vaughn at second from Kansas State. I think he's a baller. But Jahmyr Gibbs, dude, Bama's had some struggles. Not a lot of struggles, but they've had a little bit of struggle on the offensive side of the ball. But Jahmyr Gibbs, man, if they didn't have Jahmyr Gibbs, they'd be in real trouble. But he's been balling. He's been catching passes. He's been running. He's been literally doing everything. Another guy, Adrian Martinez. He's been balling at Kansas
Yeah.
State, and he's making Kansas State look great. Another guy, Drake May, he's been putting up crazy numbers. Will Anderson, obviously, he'll be probably a top 5 pick. If not, he might be number 1 pick. Stetson Bennett, he's been playing good, but yeah, a lot of good guys this year, and I'm really excited. I love the group of guys in the Heisman race, and like I would say if it ended today, they'd give it to C.J. Stroud, but you never know. I mean, we're halfway through football, and you never know what could happen.
Yeah, you are 100% right. So now we're just gonna hop straight into the recap. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of good games, and we're gonna start off with a banger. We're talking about Texas A&M at Alabama. Texas A&M started off; they struggled in the first quarter. Decided to step on the gas in the second quarter. Scored 14 points in the second quarter. Then they slowed down in the second half, only scoring 6 more points in the second half. The final score was 20-24. This was Jalen Milroe, the freshman quarterback at Alabama. His first game for the Crimson Tide, his first game starting. He put up some okay-ish numbers. He was 12 for 19, 111 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. The guy that really carried the Tide was Jahmyr Gibbs, 21 carries, 154 yards. Didn't have any touchdowns, but had some crucial runs that ultimately won the Tide this game. Hayes King had the best game of his career, throwing 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. I was honestly shocked by this game. Did not think Texas A&M would actually keep it close. Their defense is the group you want to give the credit to for keeping it this close. Their defense played good. But I was shocked, dude. And it really made me think, is Alabama really the number 1 team in the country? Are they going to beat Tennessee next week? We'll talk about that in the next episode. But it really just made me think, is this Alabama team legit? But yeah, that's my thoughts on this game.
Okay. Yeah, dude, it was one of the best games this year. And like you said, dude, I had Alabama winning 20-30 plus. Like, I thought it was going to be no contest. Texas A&M, I thought they did not have the guys. Jimbo's about to get totally embarrassed because he does not have the talent to be on the field with this Bama team. But I mean, really the only reason they stayed in the game were turnovers. Jaden Milroy, I think he had 2 fumbles and a pick,
he had 3 turnovers total.
Yeah, so he didn't play 100%, obviously, man, for a freshman to start his first game under the lights of Texas A&M, a game that's been hyped up literally since last year, and it definitely got hyped up, I guess, in like June or July. Well, no, I think it was May when all that happened with Jimbo and Nick Saban. But yeah, Jalen Milroe, he had 111 yards, 3 touchdowns. He kind of did his thing, but then again, running, he had 2 very bad fumbles. Yeah. And that's how they got 14 points just off those bad fumbles. He had a pick that was not looking good. But yeah, shout out to Haynes King. He also helped them get in the game. He was good, really good in the red zone for sure. Yeah, 253 yards for Haynes King is very good. They threw the ball 48 times. When I read that, I could not believe that. They ran the ball and threw the ball 48 times. A-Chain only has 62 yards. You could definitely tell Alabama wanted to contain him. But yeah, shout out to Haynes King. He really, the only other guy that could come in was a true freshman quarterback. He was a 5-star, but he's a true freshman quarterback. They probably want to redshirt him for next year. So they probably didn't really want him to be in the game. So, yeah, Haynes King did his thing. Man, I don't think I've ever been more stressed for a game than I was in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like, last play, 3 seconds left. Like, at the goal line, I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, I was so stressed. I'm not an Alabama fan. I'm not a Texas A&M fan. But I was so stressed. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And, yeah, Bama pulled it out. Their defense got a stop, late game stop. But it was a great game, and I'm glad I got to witness that game.
Also, that play call, that last play that Texas A&M ran, was horrible. I did not like the play call at all. I was listening to the Paul Feinbaum show, and they were talking about it a lot. It was a horrible play call. I blame the game on Jimbo for just that, honestly. And I also wanted to talk about, I was listening to the Paul Feinbaum show, and there was a bunch of these Alabama fans calling in, and they were like, Jalen Milroe needs to be switched to running back. He is not an NFL quarterback. And I'm like, dude, he's a freshman. You can't be saying he's not an NFL quarterback. He's played one game. We gotta calm down here. He'll be all right. He'll be really good in a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not like, I mean, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was incredible as a freshman. Tua was insane as a freshman. Bryce Young, I don't think he started any games, but he had flashes when he would come in for Mac Jones in 2020. Like, he would have flashes to be like, this guy's going to be really good. Yeah, I really can't say the same for Jalen, but I mean, again, he's only a freshman. If he's the starter next year, under Saban for another year, he might get coached up a little bit. But yeah, right now he's not great. But yeah, like you said, he's a freshman. They're chilling.
Yeah. Next game we're talking about, unfortunately, Auburn at Georgia. Final score was 42-10. Georgia won, obviously. This game was very painful to watch as an Auburn fan. First quarter, no one scored any points. That actually gave me some hope. And then, classic Auburn Tiger fashion, after giving their fans hope, Georgia scores 14 points in the second quarter, and then they just ran away after that, scoring 42 points in total. The only bright spot about this game is Robbie Ashford had a touchdown throw that was 62 yards to Jarquez Hunter, who, by the way, Jarquez Hunter is going to be a star once Tank Bigsby leaves and Jarquez Hunter gets all the snaps at running back. He's going to be a star. I'm excited to see him play. But other than that, there is no really bright spots for the Auburn Tigers. And I'm ready for Brian Harsin to leave, and it's just nothing but pain. And dude, I'm also a Carolina Panthers fan. I'm a big Carolina Panthers fan, and we just fired our head coach. And I know, and I've rooted for two horrible teams, and the pain will never end.
Nah, it's okay. I mean, Robbie Ashford, he was 13 for 38. Dang. I watched a lot of the game, and Auburn didn't look awful the first half. They stayed in it a little bit, but yeah, I mean, Georgia had 21 points in the fourth quarter. They really broke away. Stetson Bennett, he actually had 0 touchdowns. All their touchdowns were rushing, which is great. But I mean, yeah, they really ran the ball. I mean, really, really ran the ball. But not anybody played like crazy. Brock Bowers only had 2 catches. McConkey's a beast. He had 5 catches. But yeah, Auburn, I don't know. Robbie Ashford, he's not looking great. But then again, he's only a freshman. He's only been there. He was in high school last year. He's chilling. But yeah, Jarquez Hunter, I was watching him. I was like, okay, this dude might be pretty good. So I'm actually going to be excited to him too. That's another flash towards the future. So I mean, y'all got a young team. Y'all gonna be good.
Yeah. If Robbie Ashford gets a good head coach, and he starts the next 3 years of his career at Auburn, I really think he'll be the second best quarterback in Auburn history. I mean, he has the talent. He has the talent. There's a hot take right there, Robbie Ashford.
Yeah.
If he gets a good head coach, second best Auburn quarterback in Auburn history. He has all the talent in the world, man. That he just needs to be coached good.
Okay. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm gonna come back to that in like 4 years.
Come back to it, bro. I'm gonna be right. Watch me.
I'm gonna come back to that. 100%.
We're going to Ohio State and Michigan State. Final score was 49-20. Ohio State won. C.J. Stroud masterclass, 21 for 26, 361 yards passing, 6 touchdowns passing, and 1 pick. Just absolutely dismantled this Michigan State defense. And Michigan State, they're in a tough spot, man. They signed their head coach to a really long, really expensive deal, and they just are now finding out that he's not good. Peyton Thorne needs to be benched. He should not start another game as a Michigan State Spartan. He's just so mid, and I feel like they can definitely do better at the quarterback position. But just another C.J. Stroud masterclass here. Their receivers, Emeka Igbuka, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, had a good game. 143 yards receiving, a touchdown. What's his name? The guy Smith Najigba
Yeah.
he's disappointed me this year. He hasn't really, lived up to expectations. Some people were saying that he was going. There were some people that were saying he's going to be the best receiver in all of college football, and he's not even the best receiver on his team right now. He's been disappointed right now this season so far.
Yeah. I think he's been hurt though.
Has he?
I'm pretty sure he's been
Okay.
hurt for some of it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean, Ohio State they look good. They look really good, especially with like Smith not even playing crazy. But yeah, I feel good. Michigan State, man, they should not have given Mel Tucker that contract. They need to give half of the contract to Kenneth Walker
Yeah.
for getting him the
Yeah.
contract. I mean, I'm being for real. They need to give half of it to Kenneth Walker because, man, Mel Tucker, he looked bad this season. Obviously, I didn't expect them to win this game or get close to winning, but they've looked awful this season. I mean, every game they haven't looked good. Peyton Thorne, he has a lot of reps. He's a veteran. He hasn't gotten any better. I mean, he hasn't gotten
No,
any
he stayed
better.
the same.
Yes, I mean, the exact same. So, I mean, he hasn't progressed at all. I'm not feeling good if I'm a Spartans fan. I mean, y'all got a lot of players in the transfer portal. Y'all are probably going to lose a lot of those guys, too. I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling good. Not feeling good as a Spartan.
Man, they are not looking good this year. And really, I think Ohio State should be the number one team. I think
Yeah,
they deserve
100%.
it, man. But we're going to talk about
Yeah.
Michigan at Indiana. Michigan, 6-0. They've been off to a hot start. And their offense has been putting up some really good numbers after J.J. McCarthy took the reins. Final score was 31-10. Michigan winning. J.J. McCarthy went 28 for 36, 304 yards passing, 3 touchdowns passing, and an interception. Played a good game. He's been playing good all year. He's not playing how you expect, a young player like him should be playing. He's been putting up some really good numbers, passing and rushing.
Oh, yeah.
Connor Bazelak, the transfer from Mizzou, he's had a Connor Bazelak season so far. He's not been good. He hasn't been horrible. He's just kind of been mid the whole season.
Yeah.
Blake Corum, 124 yards rushing and a touchdown. Just a really good performance from Michigan. And I really do think they deserve to be in the top 4.
Yeah, 100%. They have so much star power on their
Yeah.
team. And Indiana they do not have a good team. This is definitely a down year. And McCarthy just, man, he absolutely controlled the game. He made them look bad. He threw 3 touchdowns. He was very efficient passing. McCarthy right now, he looks like it. He looks like him. He's him. So far this season, he's playing. He has better teams to play, but so far he looked amazing. He's really impressed me. And obviously Blake Corum had another masterclass, as he usually does. He's a beast.
Yeah. J.J. McCarthy for Heisman in like 2 years.
Oh yeah,
That's not a hot take. That's real.
yeah. Maybe next year. Probably.
Honestly, yeah. We're going to Clemson at Boston College. Clemson won this game 31-3. DJ, I'm gonna just say DJ. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the last name. I'm gonna say DJ. DJ, 220 yards passing, 3 touchdowns and a pick. He's been playing some good football this year. He had a really bad year last year, and I was convinced that he was going to play trash again this year, and I was convinced he was going to get replaced early on. But he's been playing some of the best football of his career. Some people have him top 5 in the Heisman race. But I'll need him. I need to see him play some more against some better opponents. But he's been playing good. You got to give him credit. He also had 69 yards rushing. Will Shipley kind of had a down game, only 33 yards rushing, 10 carries, and a touchdown. But I want to talk about Phil Yurkovich. I feel like we talk about this guy every week.
Of course.
I am so disappointed in Phil Yurkovich, man. I thought he would. I thought he'd have a good year. Only had
It's
a
okay.
it was
It's okay.
went 19 for 40 this game, 188 yards passing, no
Oh.
touchdowns, no picks. Um,
Mm.
just a down year for the Boston College Eagles. As they're 2-4, and Clemson really just controlled this whole game. And so really all I have to say about this game. Phil Yurkovich, you broke my
Yeah, I
heart.
don't really have much. Yeah, I don't really have much to say other than I'm glad Clemson's doing good. They got a long win streak. I think they have the longest win streak
Mm,
in college football. I'm pretty sure, and hopefully they can keep going because I like Clemson. I like Clemson. So yeah, DJ Ugalele, absolute baller. He's been balling the past 3-4 weeks. Really pretty much the Wake Forest game. He threw 5 touchdowns with the Wake Forest game, 0 picks. And then he played good last week against the number 10 team in the country, NC State. They won there. And now they won today and on Saturday, and they look good too. So DJ has been balling.
yeah. He's had a good year. I'm excited to see him
Yeah,
play
good
the
for him.
rest of the year, rest of the season, and next year. We're going to Washington State at USC, and final score was 14-30. USC won. I thought this game would be way closer than it actually was. I don't know why. I just thought that Washington State kept it close with Oregon, so I thought that they would keep it close with USC. That is not the case. Um, but they didn't play horrible football. The quarterback, 19 for 32. Cameron Ward, 19 for 32, 172 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Um, they didn't have a great game. The running back, Jalen Jenkins, 13 carries, 130 yards, no touchdowns. Really don't know too much about Washington State and their team. USC, Caleb Williams, definitely he's in the Heisman race so far. He's high up in the Heisman race too. 188
Yeah.
yards passing, 2 touchdowns. I thought he had more passing yards, but um, had 2 touchdown passes. And their running back, Travis Dye, 28 carries, 149 yards, and a touchdown.
Dang.
He had a good game, man. He played good football. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really all I have to say about this game. Nothing too crazy. I just need to see USC play some better teams. Not any Pac-12 teams, unless it was like Oregon, maybe.
Yeah.
Before I'm completely sold on them.
Yeah. Yeah, they've looked good, and yeah, like I said, I thought this game was gonna be way closer, but USC, I think they heard it all week. They're like, oh man, they might get upset, and they were on upset watch, but yeah, they got it done. So shout out to USC. They proved everybody wrong because I thought Washington State was a lot better than their team really showed. And so yeah, shout out to USC. This is a bigger win than I think people think. And they looked pretty dang good, and especially if they're running the ball too with Caleb Williams passing. They're in good shape. They're in really, really good shape.
Yeah. Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. This was a really good game. I was watching this in Tuscaloosa. Spencer Sanders masterclass, 297 yards passing, a touchdown, but had 56 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Put his team in a great position to win. Final score was 31-41. Oklahoma State won. I want to give shout outs to Perrin Morton. I'm going to say Morton. His last name's Morton, freshman quarterback at Texas Tech. Both the starters for Texas Tech were hurt, so they had to put a freshman in the game, and he had a great game. He played a fantastic game. He was hurt at the end too, but he fought, man, and he fought, and I was really rooting for him, but they couldn't get it done in the final minutes. His stats were 39 for 62. 62 pass
Dang.
attempts, 379 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, 46 yards carrying on the ground, and a touchdown run for him. Oklahoma State, they're playing some really good football so far this year. Really excited to see them play more and more in the season. Spencer Sanders, I totally forgot to mention him in my Heisman race. I see him as a dark horse this year. He's been playing really good. He's not playing like he was last year. Last year he had to have a game where he threw like 3 touchdowns, 300 yards passing, having a career day, and then the next week he'll throw like 3 interceptions, only 100 yards passing. He would have high highs, low lows last year, and that's not the case this year. He seems to have straightened everything out, and I'm really excited to see him play the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, Texas Tech's another team. I mean, I guess they're 3-3 now, but I mean their record really doesn't show how bad, well, like how good they are. I think they're a good team. I think they have a brand new coach this year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they really stayed with Oklahoma State a good bit of the game. But Oklahoma State looks good. They got a tough schedule coming up, and we're really going to see if they're going to be legit. But yeah, Spencer Sanders had a good game. Shout out to him. Like you said, he's been playing good all year. He hasn't really been inconsistent. So shout out to him. Yeah, he is a dark horse for the Heisman. He can make some plays. He can really throw it downfield, and he's good. They got some great wide receivers over there. So yeah, I feel good about Oklahoma State. But yeah, they have some games that they're going to be tested like this half of the season for sure.
100%. All right, we're going to talk about Tennessee at LSU. This game was at Death Valley, and Tennessee walked right in, was not fazed by the crowd or anything, and stomped LSU. Final score 40-13. Tennessee won. Hendon Hooker played a really good game. 17 for 27, 239 yards, 2 touchdown passes. They had a really good running game too. They had 263 yards rushing as a team. And the Tennessee defense played really good in containing the run. LSU only had 55 yards rushing for the entire team. I know. Tennessee did a really good job at containing the run. They didn't really do good against the pass, as Jaden Daniels went 32 for 45, 300 yards passing, a touchdown, and a pick. Tennessee, man, they look scary. They are looking like one of the best teams in the country. And I would put, I know this is for our predictions video, but I would put Alabama on upset alert. I really think this is a Tennessee team that can beat Alabama. But yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, dude, Hendon Hooker, like I said, he's been balling. He's been super efficient. He's been taking care of the ball. Yeah, obviously they're super tested on Saturday, but yeah, LSU's really made me sad this year. Chip Kelly gets blown out. Like, when Tennessee comes in Death Valley, I thought the game was going to be a lot closer than it is. I thought LSU was super underrated. But, I mean, dang, Jaden Daniels threw 300 yards, which is really good for him because he struggles getting a lot of yards passing. But, I mean, yeah, he couldn't get anything going, really. But, yeah, Hendon Hooker, it was all Hendon Hooker in Tennessee. Tennessee is a good team. They got their defense set up. I'm telling you, they're going to be good, and they're going to be good for years to come. I think they finally got the right coach. So good for Tennessee. Good for Tennessee. Josh Heupel.
Yeah. We're talking about Ole Miss at Vanderbilt. Now this is a game. I checked the score at the.
Yeah, I need to talk about this one.
I checked the score at the half, and Vanderbilt was actually winning, and I was like, "What is happening?" And I was rooting for Vanderbilt hard in this game. I know you were too.
Oh yeah.
I just don't understand their strategy on starting freshman quarterback AJ Swan over Mike Wright. Mike Wright, he's not hurt or anything. I mean, he's fine. He's playing the best football that any Vanderbilt quarterback had played in recent years. He was putting up some really good numbers, and they benched him for freshman quarterback AJ Swan. Yeah, 27 for 38, 281 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Final score is 52-28. Ole Miss really just figured it out in the second half, scoring 21 points in the third quarter alone. Jackson Dart had a career game. I mean, he played really good. Other than the 2 interceptions he had 3 touchdown passes, 448 yards passing. He went 25 for 32. And that's really how they scored all their points, was through the air. They did have 4 rushing touchdowns too, though. Zach Evans had 80 carries, or did not have 80 carries, 80 yards and a touchdown. But I was convinced that Vanderbilt was legit at half for this game. I was like, okay, Vandy, and then Ole Miss just came in the second
Yeah,
half and stomped them. Um,
yeah, they kind of did their thing. But listen, I was at home this Saturday. I was at home watching a lot of football. Sounds like a perfect day. My brother, I forgot what game I was watching. I wish I could tell you, but I think I checked my phone and I saw Vanderbilt was winning 13-3 in the second quarter, and I switched the channel. I was put on my AJ Swan jersey. I was hyped. I do not have an AJ Swan jersey. I'm just kidding.
this dude really does.
But AJ Swan, he's looking great. He's a freshman. I like the decision to start him. I was watching the game. I did my research. AJ Swan played good, but Mike Wright also, he played in the game too.
Yeah, he did.
He was in the game. He had some rushes. I'm really surprised he didn't throw it. But yeah, he was in the game, and like he was playing QB, and AJ Swan was going for wide receiver, and I was lost. I was like, what's going on? This is some like NCAA football type stuff. Clark Lee, I don't know, he was just making plays up during the game. And at halftime, the last thing he said in the interview, like the halftime interview, he's like, yeah, we just got to come out here in the second half and play Vanderbilt football. And immediately I was like, Vanderbilt football absolutely sucks. So they're about to come out here and play trash. And that's exactly what they did.
Wrong.
They came out there.
He's telling the truth.
And they made me so sad. I was feeling great. I was going to post it on all social medias if they lost. But dang, Ole Miss pulled it away. I hate it.
Bro.
I truly hate it. At Vandy, Ole Miss is 6-0. Jackson Dart, dude, 448 yards. He looking good. Zach Evans, I think he didn't play great last week, but he had 80 yards and a touchdown this week. Judkins only had 46 yards, and he's been balling all season, but he had 2 touchdowns. So they kind of stopped the running game a little bit. But, dude, Jonathan Mingo from Brandon High School, my man, that's a bad man. A wide receiver, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is a bad man. He got co-offensive player of the year and of the week. And, yeah, he's a banger, and they got a lot of good guys, a lot of talented guys on the offense. I mean, there's 4 or 5 guys that are like elite on that Ole Miss offense. So, yeah, Ole Miss pulled it away, but they didn't look good early, and I don't know if I would panic if I'm an Ole Miss fan because that's Vanderbilt. It's not a good team. Not a good team. Maybe in a year or two. Not a good team this year. They don't look good at all. So I'd be a little bit worried if I was an Ole Miss fan, but I'm not. So.
Bro, if Vanderbilt won, this would just be a podcast talking about how Ole Miss sucks, and it would just be you talking about how Ole Miss sucks.
I would have came in here.
Bro.
Lost to Vanderbilt? Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I wish, but they unfortunately scored 52 points, so didn't beat them.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Utah at UCLA. Final score was 32-42. UCLA pulled off the upset. Utah has kind of been disappointing this year to a lot of people, but to me, they're playing just about how I thought they would play. I was never convinced they were good. But Dorian Thompson-Robinson, another DTR masterclass, 299 yards passing, 4 touchdown passes, and he's known to be a more rushing quarterback. And he only had 8 yards on the ground this week and a touchdown.
Dang.
And that 8 yards came from a touchdown run.
Dang.
But UCLA, they're playing some really good football, man. I'm excited to watch this team play the rest of the year. And Utah, if there are any Utah fans out there, y'all are overrated, and I would pray for a better quarterback. Cameron Rising, man.
What?
Cameron Rising should be playing way better than he is. I don't like him for some reason. I just do not like him.
No,
I just do not like him. I don't know why. I like look at his name and I'm like, ugh. He's trash, but I just don't like him.
Nah. I'm
on the UCLA bandwagon though.
That is true. But yeah, Cam Rising has 13 touchdowns, 3 picks for the year.
I just don't like him.
Zero touchdowns this year and this week. But yeah, UCLA, they look very good. Chip Kelly, man. I thought UCLA was not going to be good this year, but Chip Kelly proved me wrong. They got a running back. I'm not going to attempt to say his name. Charbonnet. Charbonnet. That's right. DTR, man, what an absolute diamond in the rough. He's amazing. UCLA looking really good this year. That USC UCLA team is going to be the game going to be very good. I don't know when it is, but I'm more than excited for it. But Cam Rising, he's going to be all right. He's a junior. He's going to be good. I look forward to him play. But yeah, UCLA was definitely the better team, and I'm telling you that's a good team. They're now 6-0. That is a good team.
Yeah, this is the season that's gonna save Chip Kelly's job.
Yeah, probably.
It's not like in the previous years they've been playing bad football. They've just been super mediocre. And when a coach is super mediocre for so long, everyone gets tired of him and they fire him. But I believe this will be the season that saves Chip Kelly's job. And I'm excited to see what this UCLA team can do. Next up, we're talking about Oregon at Arizona. I know you're excited to talk about this Jayden de Laura guy.
Yeah, Jayden de Laura's a baller. Okay, I don't know. He's a baller.
But Oregon won this game 49-22. Arizona has had a way better year this year. They're slowly progressing. They're getting better and better every week. Even though they lost this game, they scored 22 points. If this was last year, the final score would probably have been like 60-0. Arizona was just horrible last year, but they definitely had a better year this year. I'm excited to see the future of Arizona football. Bo Nix, 20 for 25, 265 yards, no passing touchdowns, no interceptions. Did what he needed to do. All of Oregon's touchdowns were rushing touchdowns. There were 7 rushing touchdowns.
Dang,
yeah, Bo Nix had 3 of them, by the way. And Bo Nix is not the Heisman, by the way. Do not say Bo Nix dark horse Heisman, bro. Jayden de Laura, 24 for 42, 241 passing yards, a touchdown, and an interception. But I feel like Arizona's future is bright. I feel like they have a bright future. It might take them a couple seasons to be good again, be contenders in the Pac-12. Oregon, obviously, they've had a good year so far. They've been playing way better ever since the Georgia game. After the Georgia game, I was convinced that Oregon were big frauds. I did not think they were going to be any good this year, dude. But they've proved me wrong, man. They've had a great start to the year so far.
Yeah, they've also proved me wrong. I picked BYU to beat Oregon, but they beat BYU. That was like 2-3 weeks ago. I'm still not over it. I don't like BYU for that reason. But Bo Nix played great, three rushing touchdowns. But see, I think Arizona was 1-11 last year.
Yeah,
they're already 3-3, so they were 3-2. But when you look at like a rebuilding team, like a good young team, they're coming back. First of all, you look at the quarterback position, and that's Jayden de Laura at Arizona. The Arizona Wildcats. I mean, Pac-12 after dark. You never know what's going to happen. Jayden de Laura, you never know what's going to happen. But yeah. I mean, I can't say too much about Oregon. They're 5-1, so they're playing pretty good. Obviously, their only loss was the 49-3 game against Georgia. They looked awful, but other than that, I mean, Bo Nix he's really locked in. He slapped himself on the face and said, "Lock in," and that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. And he's looked good, and hopefully he can keep this going this season for the whole rest of the season.
Yeah, Oregon's definitely a team when you think college football playoff. They're not one of the first teams you bring up, but they're definitely one of the ones like you have in the back of your mind. Next game we're talking about an SEC matchup. We're talking about South Carolina at Kentucky. Will Levis, most overrated guy in the country, did not play this game. Instead, it was Kaya Sharon. Will Levis, by the way, hurt his finger against Ole Miss. He still played in that game. Shout out to him for being a trooper through that, but still overrated. Yeah. Kaya Sharon. South Carolina won this game, by the way, They won 24-14 at Kentucky. Kaya Sharon, Kentucky quarterback that stepped in for Will Levis, 15 for 27, 178 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Spencer Rattler. It seems that South Carolina and Shane Beamer are deciding to go with a more rushing attack than a passing attack because they only had 19 pass attempts in this game. But Spencer Rattler completed 14 passes, had 19 attempts, 177 passing yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Marshawn Lloyd, 22 carries, 110 yards, a touchdown. His longest carry was 45 yards. And I'm not surprised by this game. But it shows us that South Carolina is better than we thought, even though Will Levis is not playing. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this game.
Yeah. Marshawn Lloyd, dude. That dude's bad news. And if they didn't have him, I feel like Spencer Rattler, he'd be even more exposed. He hadn't shown like any really crazy flashes this year. He had a good win this game, but I mean, it was mainly just because of their running game. He didn't do too much. Obviously, he controlled the game, and shout out to him for that. But I don't want to talk too much about Kentucky just because we got to play them on Saturday. And but yeah, Kentucky, I don't know, it was a bad loss for them. They had a lot of momentum going into the game. But I mean, if Will Levis plays, you never know what could happen. Just saying, Kentucky might have won the game. I don't know if they would or not. I don't know, but definitely their chances would have got a whole lot better. But dang, yeah, it sucks if you're a Kentucky fan not having Will Levis. That's a bad game because it was at Kentucky. But yeah, they're fine. They're fine. South Carolina got a good win for them, and they're probably feeling great too.
Yeah. Now this is a game that's gonna hurt my heart to talk about. Florida State at NC State. Florida State lost 19-17, man. And Florida State was a team I was really high on, and now I think they've lost 2 straight games. Jordan Travis has definitely taken a step back so far this year. He started off playing really good football in the first couple of games, and then in the past 2 games, he's not been as good as he normally is. Jordan Travis was 15 for 30, 181 passing yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. But also had 108 yards carrying, and had a big 71-yard run. Devin Leary's kind of been disappointing this year. 10 for 21, 130 yards, a touchdown, and interception. I remember before this season, people were like, Devin Leary, Heisman, put him in the Heisman race. NC State, put him in the top 10. They're a top 10 team, top 5 team. But Devin Leary has not played great this year so far. NC State, they're 5-1 right now. So, yeah, I really need to see them play some more football. They're playing all right. Their only loss is to Clemson, I believe.
Yeah. Last week.
Yeah, they lost last week at Clemson. Good bounce back game. Interested to see what this NC State team can do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean the score was 17-3, and I thought it was like, yeah, Florida State winning. I wanted Florida State to win because I also like Jordan Travis. He's really good. Dude, they could have won the game. Jordan Travis had 2 key picks. And Devin Leary and NC State coming back without Devin Leary because Devin Leary actually got hurt. So they had I don't want to say they had like their like 3rd string quarterback or like it was something crazy like some nobody at quarterback, and they come marching back and they won the game. Jordan Travis had 2 very bad interceptions, and they were very bad, and they could have won if they didn't have those interceptions. I put a lot of this game on Jordan Travis. Just, I thought coming in Saturday he was like a top 15 quarterback. He didn't look like a top 15 quarterback on Saturday, but I don't know. I really thought Florida State was underrated. Obviously, it's not like they played bad. I mean, this is a good NC State team, but yeah, they should have pulled out this one. They should have pulled it out if they're a good team.
Yeah. So we're talking about Army at our beloved Wake Forest. Demon Deacons. Final score was 45-10. Wake Forest winning this game, of course. Sam Hartman went 13 for 19, 246 yards, and a touchdown pass. Army, being classic Army, went with the rushing approach as they always do, which doesn't really, work these days anymore. I mean, it would have worked maybe whenever, in the 60s or something. Whenever it actually worked. Yeah, whenever all football was running the ball, you would only have a couple pass attempts a game. But this is a new age of football. Normally every offense is now centered around passing more than running. And Army is now 1-4. Wake Forest is now 5-1. Wake Forest is having a good year. Really glad Sam Hartman came back this year. One of my favorite players in all of college football. And I'm excited to see what this team can do, man. Their only loss was a good loss. It's one of the few losses where you look back and you're like, all right, we lost, but it wasn't bad. It was a good thing. It's against Clemson. It went to 2 overtimes, man. Both teams were just fighting hard. That was a good game to watch. And I would say Wake Forest is definitely easily a top 15 team in the country right now. They're playing really good. If you would have told me 2 or 3 years ago that Wake Forest is the top 15 in all of top 15 team in all of college football, I would have think you were crazy. But they're playing good so far, man. I'm excited to see them play some more.
Yeah, they were good. They were good last year, but I mean, their only loss was to Clemson, a good Clemson team, where both quarterbacks. It was just a shootout game. Both teams played well offensively, defensively. Neither team really got going. But yeah, good for Wake Forest. Good for Sam Hartman. I'm glad he's been balling. Yeah, I was really scared we weren't going to see him at all this year. It hurt my heart. I was like, dang, it's going to hurt his draft. Yeah. But yeah, I hope he's really proven it out. He's shown out this year. He's balled out all year. And hopefully he does it the second half of the season. I'm really going to be excited to see the numbers he puts up.
Yeah. Next, we're talking about BYU at Notre Dame. Notre Dame actually won this game. I was really surprised by this game. Notre Dame won 28-20. Jaron Hall, the BYU quarterback, only had 9 completions. He went 9 for 17.
Wow.
120 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And Drew Pine, the Notre Dame quarterback, he started off this year as the backup. The starter, I think his last name was Buckner or something. Got hurt in a game against Marshall that they lost. Drew Pine took over. Started off horribly. Had a horrible start. But each and every week he's been progressing. He's been getting better. He's been looking and looking more comfortable at quarterback. And this week he had a really good game, man. 22 completions, 28 attempts, 262 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 pick. He's just been playing some way better football. He's just been improving every single week. The Irish are now 3-2 after a really, really bad start to the season. Probably the worst possible start to the season anyone could have. But they've been getting better and better and better. And I'm excited to see how they do the rest of the year.
Yeah,
that's all I really have to say about that game.
Yeah. Now I picked Notre Dame to win.
Of course you did.
I might never pick BYU to win another game after what they did to me against Oregon. But yeah, I thought Notre Dame was going to win. They showed out. Pine showed out. The whole team showed out. BYU, they fought too. Both teams are good. Notre Dame, they've gotten a whole lot better since I guess week 3. Because they looked really bad against Cal on week 3. But I mean, yeah, both teams has definitely improved. But yeah, I thought Notre Dame was gonna win. They did. Yeah, Notre Dame, man, I'm telling you, what's his name? Marcus Freeman. Mm-hmm. He's looking good because I thought he was not the right guy. He still might not be the right guy, but he's shown some flashes the past 3 weeks. So good for him, and hopefully he does well at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I agree. And now we're going to talk about a game that we predicted We predicted right. Both of us predicted this game right. But it broke our hearts, man. TCU at Kansas. Kansas, the Cinderella story of the season, loses 38-31. This was actually a really good game.
Yeah.
Jalen Daniels, the starting Kansas quarterback, got hurt. So they had to put in Jason Bean. He had
Legend.
4 passing touchdowns and only 1 interception and 262 passing yards. The thing that killed Kansas here was the turnovers, man. They had 4 fumbles. One of them was actually recovered by them, so so really only 3 fumbles and an interception. So that's 4 turnovers, man. And that's really what killed them, because this was a tie game for pretty much the entirety of the game, man.
Yeah.
Max Duggan kind of came out of nowhere. I watched him play some last year, but he's really had a good year so far this year. 23 for 33 this game, 308 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and an interception. And TCU is 5-0. And TCU
Dang.
destroyed Oklahoma. They beat Kansas in a really good game at Kansas. They're playing some
good.
really good football. They're looking really good. And I'm really excited to watch this TCU team. They seem to have figured it out on offense. So yeah, I'm really excited to watch this team play. That's all I really got to say about that.
Yeah. The Dripp Strick podcast curse strikes again, man.
I hate it.
Happened to Kansas. Kansas got hit next. Just some Dripp Strick podcast breaking news. I read about 20 minutes before we started recording. Jalen Daniels is expected to be out for the rest of the year.
Oh,
so we're gonna be seeing a lot of Mr. Bean for the rest of the year. Hopefully he can pull it out. But yeah, that really hurts because Daniels looked really good
dude.
this year. He was a Heisman dark horse that they were going to keep winning. But Kansas, man, they almost pulled this out. They almost pulled it out. Game day was there in Lawrence, Kansas. It was a whole lot of fun. But yeah, TCU is looking good. Now they have an impressive win against Oklahoma. Now they have an impressive win against Kansas. Good for TCU. Hopefully they can keep on trucking. Max Duggan looking really, really good. That was his first interception all year. He has 14 touchdowns, only 1 interception. He's really come out of his shell this year. He looked great this year. And so I'm very excited to see what he's going to do. And yeah, what a great game. What a high-scoring game. That was a fun game.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. I was in Tuscaloosa watching that game. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And Bean, he's not a bad quarterback, man. 4 passing touchdowns. They're in good hands. I'm not too worried if I'm a Kansas fan. Next we're going to talk about Arkansas and Mississippi State. Mississippi State crushed the Razorbacks 40-17. I know I said this in the last podcast. I'll say it again. When Mike Leach arrived at Mississippi State, I was like, oh, suckers. They hired the wrong guy. The air raid does not work. It will not work in the SEC at all. And I was completely wrong. Will Rogers, they found the perfect quarterback for their system, Will Rogers. He went 31 from 48, 395 yards, 3 touchdowns. And they actually, y'all had 37 carries from your running backs, and I was kind of surprised by that. I can't lie. But yeah, I mean, y'all just absolutely dismantled Arkansas. Arkansas started off really strong, 3 wins. Now they're on 3 losses so far this year. Been really disappointing.
Yeah.
KJ Jefferson did not play in this game. I believe he's hurt.
He's
so
hurt.
They handed it over to Malik Hornsby. He went 8 for 17, 234 passing yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Just really unfortunate for this Arkansas team, man. They have really just taken some big steps backwards. And they need to figure out something fast, man.
Yeah. Now I was happy with my Bulldogs. We played pretty well in Starkville. Will Rogers, man, he's getting my hypes like way too, like he's getting my expectations way too high because he had a phenomenal game. 395 yards, 3 touchdowns. He played very good. He was super, super accurate. We got the running game going. We had the most rushing yards since Mike Leach has been here. Last week, I think it was like second or third. Now I think it's third. But yeah, this Saturday, it was the most since he's been here. Dylan Johnson, 100 yards, two touchdowns rushing. He played phenomenal. Woody Marks, 52 yards, 1 touchdown. He played phenomenal. But yeah, we looked good. Yeah, Arkansas, they actually started Cade Fortin. He came in the game, and they're like, okay, this guy's not good at all. So they put in Hornsby. He could really throw the ball down the field. He also had a 52-yard run. He's super duper super fast, super duper fast. He looks good for them. Obviously not. He's not KJ Jefferson, but yeah, he looks good. Mississippi State played well. We played well. Had 40 points. I'm really proud of our defense. They looked good. But we let out 2 huge plays that I'm not happy. But like other than the 2 huge plays, like I guess 3 because he had that big run. So like we had like 3 huge plays. But like other than that, we played pretty much a perfect game. I mean, we looked really good. Other than those plays, we got 2 picks. So yeah, I'm happy with the game. We played good, and we're 5-1. So I'm feeling pretty good this year.
All right, so that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No, we're at 56 minutes. So I'm gonna save it for next episode.
I got you.
I'm gonna save all my other topics for next episode.
All right, well that's all I got for today. Is that all you got?
I got you. Oh yeah, if you are still listening, thank you so much for listening. We're 56 minutes in. If you're listening, you're a real one. Like text us, be like, I was listening when you said, "Are you listening?" Because I mean, this is thank you so much. This really means the world to us. Please leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed it. And leave some comments about your thoughts about the games, what you want to see from us, guests you want to have. If you want to be a guest, text us. We have so much fun filming these. We can't wait for it. We love talking about college football. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like on the video. Thank you so much. And I'll see y'all guys in the next one.